A-I-O, in the travel, here we go. Got that AI on the low, taking flights to and fro, booking trips in a snap with a simple chatbot flow. A-I-O, revolutionizing how we roll. Gonna hop on a plane, feeling so.
Welcome to another episode of the Everything AI in Travel podcast, where we hear from the makers, shapers, and buyers of AI technology in the travel space. Here's your host, Tony Khan.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Everything AI and Travel podcast. And today we've got one of our special episodes in our educational series. So if you are a smaller company and you haven't got started with AI yet, this is your chance. Just follow along, 15 minutes, practical sessions, tool right in front of you. You're in the safe hands of Santiago Rodriguez, who has a PhD, he's an educator. He knows his stuff inside out. He's built tools that you can follow and easily learn from in just 15 minutes. If you're working in a company and they're not taking AI seriously, then your career is in jeopardy. This is a chance for you to get the skills that you need so that at least you are up to date, right? Now, I hope everyone really enjoys this series and gets something really special out of it. Now over to you, Santiago.
Hello again, and welcome to the fourth episode of the 9 tools to attract high value visitors and boost your career with AI. Thank you for staying with us. So today we're going to review the tool for statistical forecasting, right? And once again, to recap how to get here, you just have to go to santiagor.com at free AI tools. That is santiagor.com, just like in my name down here, /free AI tools. You just click here, get the 9 free tools now, and you'll get the link in your email. And remember, we're going through this 4 stages process to attract high value visitors using AI, strategize, intelligence, content, and outreach. And in the previous episodes of this series, we have already reviewed the AI tourism expert and the context-based market assessment. And today we are going to look into the statistical forecasting tool, right? So let's get into that. So just like the previous tools, this one starts in a very easy way, right? Gives you a short description here of what this is about, predict demand from your data about visitation, occupation, spending, or any other data points you have available. Understand how future results may look using powerful statistical methods without any expertise required. Also helpful to find public data or small data sets, or for small data sets as well. So it's as simple as saying start with step 1, and the AI assistant will start taking you step by step in this process. And look, this is the first introduction it gives you. Perfect. Let's begin with step 1, input. To get started, I need your data sets. This is the foundation of your forecast. You can provide it in one of the following ways. You can attach a file like an Excel, CSV, or text file containing your data. You can paste it directly into the chat as a small table. For example, a list of months and the numbers of visitors or sales. So why is this tool so useful? Because let's say you are a destination or a company who want to prepare your logistics, your strategy, your marketing campaign, your resources to be able to cope with future demand, right? So this is when this tool comes handy, and you don't need, as it's mentioned here, any statistical expertise, because the AI, as you will see, will help you identifying what is the best method to give you these results. And in this case, we can use a short data set here. Here's an example that the AI gives you about the type of data you might be preparing. For example, data from January 22, February 22, March 2022, and you just provide here the number of visitors for each one of those months, right? The date can be monthly, quarterly, or yearly, depending on your case. Please upload or paste your data set now so I can inspect it and proceed to step number 2, which is verification. Okay, so in this case, I am going to use a short data set which shows German visitors to Ecuador on a monthly basis from January 22 to September 25. And I'm using again the case of Ecuador destination and Germany is the source market, just to be consistent with the use case that we've been using in all these series of using AI for tourism. And here, the only thing I'm going to do is just paste the data set here. You can see it's as easy as just mentioning January 22, this amount, February 22, this amount, etc., etc., etc. I could also, of course, here, I could add files using the plus sign here and upload something like a CSV file or an Excel or a Google Numbers file as well. So I'm pasting here the data, and of course, I'm going to explain a little bit the AI what we are seeing here. So this is, or remember, instead of typing, I can also always speak. So this data set represents the monthly arrival of Germans to Ecuador, German visitors to Ecuador between January 2022 and September 2025. You see here, it says this data set represents the monthly arrival of Germans to Ecuador, German visitors to Ecuador between 2025. And I'll just provide this data to the AI. The AI will analyze the data, will try to understand it, and step two is verification. The AI wants to make sure it is understanding your data set before proceeding with any projection. So let's verify that I've understood your data correctly. Time period, January 22, September 25, perfect variable, monthly number of German visitors to Ecuador structure. Each row represents a month and the corresponding number of visitors. Range of values from around 1700 lowest to about 2800 highest, which makes sense for a smaller but steady European source market with mild seasonality and gradual growth. Please confirm that this understanding is correct before we move on to step three. And I say, just simply proceed. And with that, AI will move to step number three, giving me some recommendations on the forecasting methodology and explain why. So I decide whether to use this approach or another for forecasting. So based on your data set characteristics, the monthly frequency, clear seasonality, gradual upward trend, I recommend using Holt-Winter's exponential smoothing method, also known as the triple exponential smoothing model. Don't worry, don't be afraid about all these terms. AI will do this for you, and even explains you what this method is about and why is it recommended. So why Holt-Winters is ideal here, and it gives some reasons here. If you want to learn more about statistical forecasting, you can ask AI here, explain me more about this or that. But if you just want to keep going, you know what's going to happen behind, what methodology AI is going to use. And then it says next step 4, time period. Before running the model, please tell me how far ahead would you like the forecast to go? 6 months, 12 months, etc. Should the forecast be monthly or annual? So I will tell AI here, I want you to forecast on a monthly basis from October 25 all the way to December 27. Okay, let's see. It understood my transcript. I want to forecast on a monthly basis for from October 25, because remember the data set we provided was until September 25 all the way to December 27. We click enter, and the AI will proceed with the reasoning behind all the process. You can even read what it's doing there in order to provide you with the forecasting. One important thing here why AI thinks is to remind you once again, this forecasting tool is using statistical methods. So this is more a quantitative approach to forecasting, while in the previous tool for market intelligence, we had a qualitative approach performing a market assessment based on more intangible aspects, such as political aspects, economical aspects, social aspects, interrelating the destination and the source market, right? This tool for statistical forecast is useful only when you have numbers already, such as revenue from your hotel or tour operator, number of visitors, level of occupation, quantities of resources you might use in a hotel or tour operator, etc. So you can forecast numbers for the future based on numbers from the past. So please understand, statistical forecasting based on numbers makes that forecast based on numbers, assuming future conditions will be more or less the same as past conditions, right? These statistical forecasting methodologies can look into seasonality in past numbers and will try to assume how this seasonality might behave in the future. But seasonalities and conditions, especially in tourism, can be modified for a series of reasons, such as we mentioned, political reasons, economical reasons, environmental reasons, etc. So that's why this statistical forecasting tool based on numbers becomes even more powerful when, after you get the statistical forecasting, you use the market assessment tool we used in the previous episode of this series to make the correction on that purely statistical forecasting by adding this layer of context that gives you more reality to the projections you are doing. Great. After waiting for a few seconds for the AI to perform the statistical forecasting, it offers us first here charts looking into future projections based on past projections, once again, based purely on numerical behavior from the past, right? And it says, awesome, moving to step 5, output with your requested horizon. I interpreted October 25 to December 27 as October 25 to December 27, inclusive, including December 27. That's why 27 monthly forecast. That's 27 monthly forecast. Yeah, that's right. If you meant something different, tell me and I'll generate instantly. So really nice. It's trying to confirm here the AI that the output it generated is actually in line with what you were intending. So what I did method, I use hold winters. Why this setup here that it shows a gentle upward trend and clearly yearly seasonal pattern with proportional percentage like fluctuations. Even look here, if you are familiar with Python code, which is the one that the AI used for this forecasting, Python is a traditional package or language used for statistical forecasting. It gives you the Python code it used here in case you want to see that in more detail, or if you want to learn more, once again, you can ask the AI to explain you more about Python code. But let's go to results. Download and view interactive table of 27 forecast months is shown above. There's a CSV file with actual facts with actuals. Applause forecast is ready. You can download the CSV file here. And here's a quick preview, first and last set of numbers of the horizon, right? Seasonality and behavior. The model keeps the winter early year bump, January, March, and mid-year, July, September. And would you like me to export the forecast only as a clean 2-column file? Date forecast at 80-95% prediction intervals. It gives you several options here. And at the end, it gives you also a very useful reminder. Limitations reminder. Forecasts are number-based extrapolations from past patterns. Real-world factors, air capacity, exchange rates, marketing events, geopolitical shifts may drive deviations. Treat this guidance as and overlay your market context. For context-aware correction, you can use the contextual market assessment AI here. So just what I mentioned you, and this link here will take you to the tool that we used in the previous episode of this series, right? Great. If you download this CSV file, you'll get the whole numbers for the full forecast. Or let's try something here. Excel AI. Great. Display here the full data set of forecasted values for the 27 months. And here we have the full forecasted values that we can download as well here, download table from October 25 all the way to December 27. And the values are representing, as you see, this trending increase that AI already explained to us. But the forecasting is very, let's say, realistic. It's not like crazy increasing numbers or just continuously only increasing or increasing. You see there are higher numbers, lower numbers, then it goes high again, taking in consideration all these fluctuations of the seasonalities of past years. As you can see, this tool is really useful to proceed with statistical forecasting, even if you don't have a statistical expert in your team. and the AI will guide you as deep as you want in all the context, methodology, details on how to perform the forecasting, but also how to adjust the best way to make a realistic forecasting for your destination or company. So I hope you enjoyed the tool. We'll leave it there for now. And please remember, if you would like to get human support on how to get even more from these AI tools, just don't hesitate and get in touch with me through this link to learn more about my one-to-one coaching program or training services for your team, your staff, and yourself. Thank you very much, and let's meet again in the next episode of this series, where we will start reviewing how to take all this strategy, all this information we've gathered on how to attract or market or target visitor, and how to start creating content that talks in a very relevant way to this specific profile of visitor that I want to attract. See you in the next session.
AI, in the travel, here we go. Got that AI on the low, taking flights to and fro, booking trips in a snap with a simple chatbot flow. AI, revolutionizing how we